These officers didn't arrest the wrong person by accident. They did it because someone laughed, or dared them, or blew a perfect zero, and their own cameras caught all of it. On May 13, 2022, William Iannacone was driving down U.S. Route 19 in Nicholas County, West Virginia, a stretch a federal judge would later call a notorious speed trap, when he flashed his headlights to warn oncoming drivers about a police radar unit. That is legal. A deputy decided to make him pay for it anyway. Deputy J.D. Ellison radioed ahead before he had even pulled Iannacone over.
That guy flashing these lights warning everybody you're sitting there. I'm going after him.
Warning other drivers by flashing your lights is protected speech. When Iannacone pointed that out, the deputy had an answer ready.
Well, under the Constitution, it's protected in the First Amendment. But I'm going to look into it.
That's in Tennessee.
That's in Tennessee, as if the Constitution stopped at the state line. Then Ellison reached for a threat.
And I could take you to jail today for your unsigned registration card, but I just wrote you a citation for that. That's actually up to 6 months in jail.
6 months in jail over an unsigned card. Iannacone did the only thing a reasonable person could. He laughed, and that laugh is what got him cuffed.
You think it's funny, sir?
I'll take the ticket, sir.
I know, but do you think this is funny?
I'm allowed to laugh. I can laugh all along.
He was frisked and handcuffed on the side of the highway. A prosecutor reached by phone reportedly told the deputy not to arrest him, so Ellison let him go, with 2 citations, one of them for flashing his lights. Iannacone appealed and won, then filed a federal civil rights lawsuit. In March 2025, a federal judge refused to throw the case out and stripped away the deputy's qualified immunity, ruling that punishing someone for protected speech is a clearly established violation, and noting the stop itself was likely unconstitutional. As of early 2026, the case was still alive, with the deputy personally on the hook. That deputy at least had a badge and a bad excuse. The people in this next one had assault rifles and the wrong grandmother. On March 5, 2024, 66-year-old Penny McCarthy was doing yard work in her Phoenix driveway, in a sleeveless shirt, shorts, and slippers, when a van screeched up and a team of heavily armed U.S. Marshals poured out and pointed assault rifles at her. They were hunting a 70-year-old fugitive named Carol Rozak, who had skipped parole back in 1999 on non-violent charges. The only thing tying McCarthy to her was a Facebook photo someone thought looked like an older Rozak and a fingerprint glitch. The Marshals wouldn't even tell McCarthy who they thought she was.
Police, don't move! Hands up! Hands up! Turn around. Turn away from the sound of my voice.
When she turned to look at the people screaming at her, they threatened to tase her.
You have an arrest warrant. Turn away from the sound of my voice. Yes, for you.
Who am I?
Turn
away.
Turn around, we'll discuss.
Turn away, you're gonna get hit.
She begged them to let her prove her identity. They refused. She was handcuffed, driven to federal detention, and spent the night in federal prison for being 66 years old in her own driveway. A judge released her the next morning, finding the evidence insufficient. About a month later, and only after a news investigation, the Marshals admitted they had the wrong person. Members of Congress demanded a federal inspector general probe, citing carelessness and excessive force. McCarthy has since sued the federal government, and in March 2026, a court cleared her case to move forward. It is still ongoing. The Marshals mistook her for a fugitive. This next father was mistaken for a car. On January 19, 2024, Derek House was driving home to his wife and kids in Woodridge, Illinois after a Costco run, when an unmarked car rushed up and forced him to stop. Officers from several squad cars swarmed his gray Volkswagen with guns drawn, shouting over each other.
Windows down! Put the window 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 down! Put both of your hands out the window right now! Put both of your hands out the window!
I got commands.
Go ahead.
You, with an outside hand, reach out, open the door. Watch your crossfire. Okay, real slow, left hand, do it from the inside. You come out with a gun, we're going to end you. Do you understand? There you go. There you go. Come on out. I gotta click the time. Put it in park. Put it in park. Real slow. Everything real slow.
I'm gonna shoot you in your head if you come up with anything other than that.
A death threat before anyone had asked him a single question. House told them where he had been.
Now move. Hands behind your back right now.
I don't have any weapons. I just came from Costco, dude.
Within about a minute of cuffing him, an officer checked the plate against a notepad, and the truth landed.
That's why you push the handcuffs. We thought you were the guy. No. All right? You're not. I understand that. All right? Hey, listen, look at me. This up. Okay. Understand that?
The real suspects were in a black Volkswagen Tiguan. Different color, different plates, 2 people inside. House was alone in a gray Atlas. An officer uncuffed him and tried to explain the plates were only off by 2.
Well, listen, this is ridiculous. I've been out here for 15 years and never have I once in my life. My man, nothing, dude.
You have to look at it.
My man, nothing, dude. That is
He's got every right to
unacceptable.
You are absolutely
Especially you, Harvey. Especially you, bro.
Okay. All right.
That is your name? My name is Derek House, man. I've been out here. I lived in for 10. I've been in for 3, man. I'm an upstanding citizen. My kids go to school here. I'm well respected. Wrong. You're right. You don't do that. You don't.
In January 2025, House filed a 7-count federal lawsuit against the Village of Woodridge and 5 officers. False arrest, excessive force, and racial profiling. The department said its officers acted in good faith during an emergency. No officer discipline has been confirmed, and the case is ongoing. House was mistaken for a suspect. This next man wasn't mistaken for anyone. He was arrested for refusing to give his name. On September 22, 2022, Demetrius Kern pulled over on Mayfield Road in Cleveland Heights, Ohio, to complain that an officer had just cut him off in traffic. That officer, Carly Lewis, actually apologized and was ready to let him go. Then a sergeant arrived and demanded Kern identify himself. Kern refused because he had committed no crime and had no legal obligation to. The sergeant didn't take it well.
Why are you so full of machismo, man?
Dude, have a seat. I'm not putting up with your bullshit, okay? Have a seat.
He ordered Kern arrested for obstruction, for the crime of standing on his rights. And as Officer Lewis wrote up the ticket, she kept apologizing, telling Kern she was only doing what her supervisor said.
Listen, I don't feel like I need to give him a ticket for that. I'm cool with this. Okay, I mean, I'm cool with letting him go. He just, I didn't understand.
He's in handcuffs.
And he's being a jerk.
He obstructed. He refused to identify himself. I'm not going to sit out here and argue with somebody for an hour the legalities of it. He can come to court.
Okay.
So he gets a ticket for obstructing failure to identify himself.
You guys got a lawsuit
Mr. Kern,
coming.
just hang on. Just
got a lawsuit coming.
Listen, let me explain to you. You don't get out of the car yet. The sergeant wants me to give you a ticket for obstruction, okay? I'm not going to do anything else. Listen, he's the boss. He is the boss.
I don't have to refuse if I didn't commit a crime. This isn't a stop and ID state.
At this point, it is a traffic stop because you're out on a traffic
ran me off
stop.
the road.
Mr. Kern, we just had that conversation. I did not almost run you off the road.
That Tesla has cameras in it. So you guys are going to pay for this.
That's fine. This literally was a traffic stop that gentleman stopped abruptly. You and I just had this conversation.
So you know, like I know. And then why is it that you can talk, but what I'm saying...
You can talk.
No,
I have no problem with you talking.
Just like you said, he made an abrupt stop, which you swerved over, and I almost hit you.
Right. And we are both agreeing on it. It's on my body camera.
So what are you talking about? It's obstruction. I almost got hit. I stopped, and I seen what was wrong. You told me to step back. I stepped back. I followed your directives.
You did.
Until he came and with his balls out.
Well, we needed to get your name and information, and that's all we needed to do.
I was responding.
All right, have a seat. Just sit back in there.
This is going to be a heavy lawsuit.
Okay. I'm fine with not doing it. He's pissed.
I don't care if he's pissed. We allow people to not identify themselves first.
We didn't.
On a legal stop.
He had just identified himself.
After I put him in handcuffs.
He was gonna, I don't know. I feel that it wasn't gonna go that direction, but...
It was absolutely going to.
Okay, well, I'll write him a ticket for obstruction.
Affirmative.
Mr. Kern, I apologize. I really do. And this is on body cam, alright? This is, the sergeant's telling me to do this, so...
Kern's answer to that is the moral center of the whole video.
Listen, when asked for your information, you have to identify yourself. At this point, we're on a traffic stop together now.
But you still have to
a traffic stop is not a crime.
And I asked him, am I being detained? And nobody answered that.
Listen, Yes.
So I covered all my bases.
All the stuff's going to be typed in the report.
If I was being detained, I had no choice but to give you my ID. That's why I specifically asked.
Yeah.
Am I being detained?
Well, at that point, it's a traffic stop.
The obstruction charge was dropped 11 days later. The city's mayor called for expedited police reform, and the sergeant was ordered into de-escalation training. Kern filed a federal civil rights lawsuit alleging racial bias, and as of 2026, it is still in active litigation in the appeals court. Kern was punished for saying no. This next man was punished for 4 words the deputy couldn't stand to hear. On September 14, 2022, Gregory Whaling, a black man walking with a cane after knee surgery, crossed paths with a sheriff's deputy at a Temecula, California apartment complex. Another man claimed Whaling had been harassing him. Words were exchanged, and the deputy told Whaling to go stand somewhere else. Whaling refused. The deputy threatened to put him in the back of the patrol car, and Whaling, pointing at his 2 surgically repaired knees, gave the 4-word reply that got him arrested.
Go over there or you're going to end up in the back of my car.
I bet you won't. That was it. That was the whole crime.
You don't think I won't put you in my car?
I bet you that with these.
The deputy took him to the ground and threatened to tase him. Whaling was held for 11.5 hours, then released without a single charge because prosecutors wouldn't even file one. And this one didn't drag on for years. An internal investigation sustained the misconduct allegations, and the deputy, a 14-year veteran, was fired. In March 2025, Riverside County paid Whaling a $498,000 settlement. Even Whaling's own attorney called the firing surprisingly severe. That deputy got fired. This last officer got something even rarer, a jury verdict with his own name on it. Just after midnight on August 28, 2022, 19-year-old Taven Galanakis, a college football player, was pulled over in Newton, Iowa for driving with his high beams on. One headlight had a broken bulb. Within seconds, the officer had decided he was drunk. Galanakis said he hadn't had a drop. The officer wasn't interested.
How much have you had to drink tonight?
None.
What do you mean none?
I've had nothing to drink.
Okay. What do you mean none?
I've had nothing to drink.
Okay.
He accused Galanakis of watery, bloodshot eyes and the odor of alcohol. Galanakis called his bluff.
Great, let's do a test and
We'll get to the test.
I can't wait.
He blew a 0.00, stone cold, sober. And instead of apologizing, the officer immediately started reading him his rights and switched his whole theory.
When's the last time you smoked weed?
I do not remember that.
Tonight?
No.
Okay, well I think it's tonight.
I've had no weed tonight. That's what's going on. You can't do that, man.
Watch him say the quiet part out loud.
You really can't do
Absolutely I can.
that. Is he allowed to do that? Yes, he is.
Absolutely, I can. He was taken to the station, where the department's own drug recognition expert tested him at 2 in the morning and found no signs of anything at all. He was released. Then it got bolder. After Galanakis posted the body cam online, the 2 officers sued him for defamation. A federal judge threw out most of that. And in June 2026, after nearly 4 years, a federal jury sided with Galanakis and awarded him $105,000, including punitive damages against both officers, by name. Not a settlement a city quietly writes off. A jury looked at the footage and decided those officers personally owed him. Well, that brings us to the end of this video. Today we watched 6 people arrested for all the wrong reasons. For flashing their headlights, for standing in their own driveway, for coming home from Costco, for refusing to give a name, for daring a deputy, and for blowing a perfect 0. Not one of them had done anything illegal. If one of these got under your skin, do us a favor, hit like, subscribe, and tell us in the comments which one made you the angriest. And here's the honest question worth arguing about. When an officer arrests someone they know is innocent, what should actually happen to them?